Yeah, so welcome here to the second leg of the doubleheader between the Lehigh Mountain Hawks and the Navy Midshipmen here at the J. David Walker Legacy Field. So right now we meet you all, and my name is Jackson Cramp. I'm here with my partner Evan Woodward. Tie game, top of the first. One man down already for the Midshipmen, and we're up to batter two. Evan, what are your thoughts on this game right now?
Yeah, Lehigh's looking to bounce back after that first game, a tough 2-1 loss, definitely a pitcher's duel. They're looking to get the bats started here, get a little bit more offense. We know they're capable of it. Juniors Rafe Perrick and Justin Butler have been great for them this year, and we'll look to see if they can carry them here to a win against the Navy Midshipmen.
So Navy's man is walked, so we will now have one man on, one man out for the Navy Midshipmen in the top of the first. So now up to bat is number 1, Logan Keller, a senior from Alabama. And that man that got on base via a walk was Eduardo Diaz, also a senior.
And the wind definitely picking up here, blowing towards us, so the ball is definitely going to be dying in the outfield if it is hit in the air. First game, we didn't see many deep fly balls. No home runs. Finished 2-1 for the Navy Midshipmen.
And there's a deep ball into right center field, and it is down. And that'll be at least a double for the Midshipmen. And they'll hold Diaz at third base, but some offense out the gates for the Midshipmen as they now have a runner on second and third, and only one man down. And now coming up to bat for them will be number 4, that being Brock Murtha, a sophomore who's an infielder.
Yeah, maybe on a normal day that ball would have found itself over the wall, but today it died right out there, just in time. Luckily for Lehigh Mountain Hawks.
And so once again, one man out, 2 men on at second and third, and that'll be a ball for Bertha's first opportunity at the plate. It's worth noting that Lehigh's pitcher on the mound today is senior Teddy Tolliver out of Ohio. Did not get the start for the first game today, but is here on the mound today and working to get himself out of a jam, as that'll be a strike, so the count's now 1-1 for Murtha.
Yeah, it's important to note here, Navy coming in to this game with a 9-3 record in Patriot League play, and in first place, Lehigh in 4th.
So the hit to the shortstop. He won't be able to turn 2, and he'll get 1 man out, but 1 man will score for Navy. So that'll be out number 2 with another man on third for the Midshipmen.
Yeah, as I was saying, Navy 9-3 record. One thing to note, they're not a big power hitting team, only 11 home runs on the year. Lehigh with over 30 already. So
I was going to say, Andrew Manning now at the bat for the Midshipmen, as his first pitch will be called a ball. Not sure the Lehigh fans love that one. So it'll be a 1-0 count, and that's a hit to the shortstop again. We'll see. Oh, he makes a drop on the play. Can he still get the throw? And it is in time, so that'll be out number 3. So after the top of the first inning, Navy Midshipmen take a 1-0 lead, just like they did in the first leg of the doubleheader. This is Jackson Cramp and Edwin Woodward. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. So welcome back here to J.D. David Walker Stadium. I'm Jackson Cramp here with Evan Woodward. So bottom of the first, Lehigh up to bat with Navy up to a 1-0 lead. First up for the Mountain Hawks is Jake Winninger, who will lead off the team for today. As Shira, who's on the mound for the Shipmen, sent his first offering just a little bit wide, so that'll be ball number 1.
Yeah, Whitlinger is definitely a threat on the base pass. He's been 12 of 14 on base stealing attempts this season. Definitely the quickest on the base pass for the Mountain Hawks.
As that'll be ball number 2 for Shira. So a 2-0 count for Whitlinger. Good start. Shira gets into his lineup. And he paints the outside corner for a 2-1 count. Evan already mentioned this, but it is windy as can be out there, definitely affecting the players today.
Yeah, and in the first game, we did see a few walks here and there, but the pitchers dealt with it really well, finished with a 2-1 scoreline. So I think that was just a bit of a control issue, especially with it being so cold. It's just tougher on the pitchers in general.
As Whitlinger now has a full count after getting a 3-1, it is now 3-2. So we'll see how this first plate appearance for the Mountain Hawks goes today. And he struck out looking. Good pitch by Shire, got him down low. So now up for the Mountain Hawks is number 5, Braden Hubbard, a first year out of Easton, PA, so a local kid getting the start here today, looking to make an impact.
And Hubbard on the year batting .278, very solid numbers here early on.
Shire's first pitch just a little bit wide of the mark, it'll be 1-0. And his second one, similarly, just missing the outside corner. Some good blade work so far from the Mountain Hawks, getting several balls. Here's Shire's third offering, and it'll be tipped off foul by Hubbard. Make the count 2-1.
Yeah, and Hubbard, as we mentioned, a first year, getting some decent playing time in his first year. Very impressive from him.
So Shira will be looking to even up the count here. He's into his windup. And Hubbard gets some decent contact, but it's going to pop up to center field. And the wind's taking it, but it is count for out number 2 of this inning. So up will bring number 34, Rafe Perrick. Evan, do you have any thoughts on Mr. Perrick?
Yeah, Perrick is definitely one of the best, if not the best hitters on this Lehigh squad this season. .394 batting average, 6 home runs, which is second on the team. .394 average being first, and he's definitely a threat anytime he gets up to the plate.
So Shire's first offering to Perrick will make it a 1-0 count as he misses his spot. Second one as well, just a little bit low, so that'll be a 2-0. So again, some pretty decent job by these Lehigh hitters to get themselves into favorable counts. As Shire's third offering to Perrick will be high. So a 3-0 count for Perrick, definitely where he wants to be, as Evan was mentioning, one of the most efficient hitters on this Lehigh team. Shire will go into his windup and deliver, and that'll be high as well. So Perrick gets a 4-0 count and steps on over to first base, bringing up number 10, number 19, Justin Butler.
Yeah, and both these hitters are very dangerous. Butler, 9 home runs in the season. He's tied for first in the Patriot League. And we saw right there, Perrick being such a lethal hitter, the pitcher was afraid to really face him with good strikes, so decided to walk. And I'm sure they don't mind that.
So this first pitch to Butler is heavily wide to the mark, giving Butler a 1-0 count. Perrick does not look like he's going to steal, very much close to first base. Now he goes, though. And the throw gets away. Perrick is safe at second as the ball dribbles into the outfield. A great disguised steal by that Perrick, because that's what I was saying. He did not look intending to steal at all. But Lehigh now has a runner in scoring position with Perrick on second and Butler up to bat with 2 outs.
Yeah, he even got us with that. It didn't look like he was going to go, and I think the catcher thought the same, so he kind of stood up ready to throw the ball back to the pitcher, and then Perrick decided to run, went to throw it, a little off the mark, bounced into center field.
And that's kind of just a doubleheader kind of play, little leisurely by the catcher there at that time, as Evan was saying. So Shira will give an offering, and that one will be wide as well. So Shira having a little bit of control issues, it seems, and not a lot of strikes so far.
Yeah, and that's just Perrick's third steal of the season, but shows you that he can steal when he wants.
Shira will give it, and Butler will swing and miss, evening up the count at 2-2. Looked like he had an idea on that one, but Shira just beat him to it.
Yeah, Butler does strike out his fair share of the time, just like any power hitter. 33 strikeouts on the season and 109 plate appearances.
And so on the 2-2 count, Shira will tech Perrick on second, give an offering again, very wide, giving Butler a 3-2 full count, the second full count of the bottom of the first for the Lehigh, as Butler will now look to try to bat in Perrick, which has been a lethal partnership up to this point in the year. Shira will check the runner. Here's the offering, and it is foul. Way behind by Butler. Just got a little under that one. And Shira will take his time with this one.
Butler's doing a great job of dragging out this at bat, getting the pitch count up early on.
Definitely seems to be an intention of the Mountain Hawks in this second leg of the doubleheader, which you get as the first one probably tired out these midshipmen. And that'll be a walk, just a little bit low to the outside, as Butler will join Perrick on the base path, bringing up number 10, Tyler Young, a senior, to the plate.
Yeah, Perrick and Butler being such great hitters, pitchers are scared to give them good pitches, and that's what happens. Even if they're not hitting the ball, they're still contributing greatly.
And that's what we like to see, just getting men on base. So now Young will have an opportunity to drive in not one but 2 runs, with Perrick on second and Butler on first, as he'll foul one behind the net. Again, getting a little under that one, making it an 0-1 count.
Yeah, and Young, a very consistent hitter here, 271 batting average on the season. No home runs yet, but has batted in 14 RBIs for this Mountain Hawks team.
So Shira will check the runners and deliver outside again. It definitely seems to be throwing away from the batters thus far. I can't tell if he's intentionally doing that, trying to throw them off, or he's missing his mark right now. Shira will go into his windup deliver, and that is a base hit by Tyler Young. Rafe Perrick will round third base, and it's mishandled by the right fielder. And Lehigh will score run. Butler had a little indecision, but he stays at second. So that is an RBI for Tyler Young as Rafe Perrick comes in to score, making it a 1-1 ball game here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, and this looks like a replica of the first game so far. Both teams scoring 1 run in the top and bottom of the first inning.
Now batting for the Mountain Hawks, number 2, Dom Patrizi.
And so that brings up Dom Patrizi, the sophomore, up to bat. Hopefully he can get some more offense for Lehigh here, as he has 2 men on, one on first, one on second. Shira's first delivery hits his mark, bottom corner. So that'll be strike 1 for the Mountain Hawks. And as Evan was saying, last game, the Mountain Hawks tied it up 1-1 in the bottom of the first. Then there was no scoring into the top of the 10th by the midshipmen, as that is a hit into right field, and it'll go into foul territory. Seem to always be looking in that direction from Dom Patrizi.
Yeah, Patrizi early on here with the 132 batting average, trying to get something started here. Still very early in the season, trying to change his fortune.
So unlike the first few batters of the Mountain Hawks who worked themselves into really favorable counts, Patrizi finds himself in an 0-2 count against Shira, who will take a long look at second base, and that'll be just too high, and that'll be a 1-2 count now for Patrizi. Butler's definitely taking a healthy lead, which you can't really blame him for with 2 outs. As Shira, take a breath, going to windup throws, and Patrizi will go down swinging. So Lehigh leaves 2 men on the bases, but tie up the game 1-1, and we'll be right back for the top of the second. Thank you. Welcome back to the J. David Walker Field. I'm Jackson Cramp, joined by Evan Woodward for the Lehigh Sports Broadcasting Club's rendition of the second leg of the doubleheader between Lehigh and Navy. As Tolliver's first pitch of the top of the second will be a strike. Right now, batting for the midshipman is number 9, Evan Brown, who's a freshman. So Tolliver will be looking to use his experience advantage as his second offering is fouled away. Going far to the right over the Navy dugout. So an 0-2 count to start off the inning for Evan Brown. Definitely something Tolliver's looking to do. Of course, didn't get the start in the first leg of this doubleheader, but trying to steady the ship. No pun intended after a 1-run first inning.
Yeah, and Tolliver, along with Dan Chicio, are Lehigh's 2 main pitchers. Tolliver getting the start in the second game of the doubleheader here, sporting a 4.30 ERA early on, so pretty solid ERA.
As Brown just gets a little bit of that to get a foul tip, so that'll retain the count at 1-2. I think Tolliver thought he got him swinging that time though. Tolliver will go into his windup and deliver, and Evan Brown will strike out swinging. So 1 man down for the Lehigh Mountain Hawks, no man on in the top of the second.
Yeah, that was a great pitch by Tolliver. Great off-speed pitch after a few fastballs. Got him out in front.
And I think you could tell that Brown kind of wanted to be on the front from the pitch before, and good job by Tolliver to take advantage for that.
Number 17, Victor Izquierdo.
And that brings up number 17, Victor Izquierdo for the midshipman. As Tolliver's first pitch just a little low, 1-0 count.
Yeah, and Izquierdo is second on the team here with 24 RBIs coming into this doubleheader. Definitely a great hitter for this good midshipman side.
As once again, Tolliver looked like a fastball that time, just a little bit too low, again missing his mark. So a 2-0 count, opposite of the first hitter in this inning. As that one, Tolliver paints the outside corner. What a great pitch to make the 2-1 count, bringing him back into this at-bat. Once again, the wind picks up. As Tolliver's next pitch almost got Izquierdo swinging, but he checks his swing just in time. So it'll be a 3-1 count. Tolliver just trying to work himself out of this situation here. Tolliver will deliver, and that is a base hit by Izquierdo into shallow left field. It'll be fielded and be a single for the midshipmen, so it'll be 1 man on, 1 man out thus far in the top of the second, as that'll bring up number 7, Tyler Bouchard for Navy.
Yeah, one thing to mention here, Izquierdo is one of 5 members of this team with more than 20 RBIs this early in the season. As we mentioned, this Navy midshipman team has a 9-3 record in conference play, and nearly everyone in their lineup is capable of hitting the ball. That's kind of contrary to Lehigh, where we have 2 or 3 players who are really carrying the load with RBIs and batting it in, while the other players are simply getting on base. It's a different setup, different lineup, but both teams are doing very well here early on in the season.
As you mentioned, Navy's definitely has more experience in Patriot League play thus far. We'll see which wins out non-conference versus conference play, as Tarverville's next pitch finds his mark. It is a 1-1 count.
Yeah, and Lehigh is definitely a younger team. Lehigh has a few sophomores in their starting lineup, so they're starting to get experience, starting to get in a groove here early on.
As Tolliver's curveball that time just gets a little away from him, and then it'll be a 2-1 count. So Tolliver, after giving a 1 run in the first inning, has now got a man on first as he's trying to get back into the groove. So Tolliver will deliver fastball that time, strike 2, 2-2 count. Now obviously the double play is on for the Mountain Hawks with 1 man on first and 1 out. We'll see if they can get it done here though. Once again, the wind has been affecting both the fielding and the hitting, it seemed. So as Tolliver gets a sign, pitches, delivers, and that'll be fouled off by Bouchard, staying alive in this pitch count. The first leg was decided by a top of the 10th winner, as Tolliver once again goes into his windup and he'll deliver, and that'll be a fastball to the inside, but it'll be called ball 3, so it'll full count here. But as I was saying, the first leg of this doubleheader was decided by a top of the 10th single base hit that drove in a run for Navy after a true pitcher's duel. So we'll see if we get a repeat of that or not, as Tolliver likes it, throws, and that is fouled way back behind us, the broadcast stand itself.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Jackson, the game ended on a single base hit in the center field. It kind of just blooped in there between the second baseman and the center fielder, and it looks like the center fielder has learned from that. They're playing a little more shallow here in this game, trying to prevent those bloop hits. As here's a ball hit to shortstop, turns one.
Oh, and they're just not able to get the second one, as the throw was a little bit to the right of the first baseman. So still one out though on that play. So 2 down for the Lehigh Mountain Hawks and 1 man on for the midshipmen.
Yeah, and that's still a great play by Tyler Young. It was a slow hit ball. Good job to at least get one. Tough play to turn 2 there.
And so that'll bring up the catcher, Jack Killela, who is a freshman for the midshipmen. We'll see if Tolliver can get another man out with another man on first. And he likes the sign. He'll go to wind up and he hits it. And it was hit right up the middle to the second baseman, and he calmly jogs it over to get the 3rd out of the inning, and that'll do it for the top of the 2nd. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere for the bottom of the 2nd. Welcome back to the bottom of the 2nd here, between the Mountain Hawks and the Navy midshipmen. Up next for the Mountain Hawks to hit is number 4, Andrew Cole, the junior, who plays in the outfield right now. And it'll be Shira still on the mound for the midshipmen. He'll give his first offering and fouled off that time by Cole. So an 0-1 count here in the bottom of the 2nd, after we had each team score 1 in the 1st inning. Midshipmen go scoreless in their top of the 2nd, as Cole will swing again, and this time hit nothing, as it'll be an 0-2 count for Cole. Definitely not where he wants to be facing Shira.
Yeah, and Cole off to a fast start here this season with 5 home runs, 3rd on the team. Definitely power hitter.
As Cole will foul that one, got a little under it, and that'll go behind us. High fastball that time by Shira, getting a little away from what he was doing in the 1st inning, which is a lot of outside fastballs, breaking balls. So Shira will go into his windup and deliver, and there you see the return of the breaking ball to the outside. So it'll be a 1-2 count for Cole. As Shira get the sign, go into his windup and deliver, and it gets away from the. It looks like it hit the umpire. See that every day.
Yeah, it looked like the catcher just missed it. Umpire wasn't ready, and it hit off his shoulder, I believe.
So ump looks like he's good to continue. Got a little jolt to the shoulder there, as seem to have a little intermission here, as the Lehigh trainer will go and check on the umpire.
Yeah, those ones hurt coming in at 90 miles an hour.
They certainly do, and it looks like the mini conference was over as the catcher went over to talk to Shire for a minute. But that is now over, and we look set to continue here as Cole will step back into the batter's box with a 2-2 count after the rare umpire injury check. And so here's Shira, gets the sign, goes into his windup, and it'll go down to the left field line. Oh, and it hooks foul for a second there. I think the stadium thought it was going to stay fair and might have even got over the fence, but it hooks foul for Cole. And as you were saying, Evan, Cole's quite the power hitter, right?
Yeah, Cole with 5 home runs. I thought he had enough right there. Just got out in front of the ball a little too soon.
So Shira, 2-2 count to Cole, will wind up and deliver. Oh, and he narrowly almost grazed Cole, very much on the inside. So now a 3-2 count, as Cole has worked his way back into this count after an 0-2 start, and that'll be a ball for sending Cole to first base as he'll trot on over, and that'll bring up number 13 for Lehigh, that being Sam Holtz, the junior, correct?
Yeah, great job by these Lehigh hitters here today by simply getting on base. 3 walks already.
So now Sam Holtz in the batter's box. Shira with 1 man on will deliver, and it's a bunt by Holtz. It's gone right back to the pitcher. Cole gets down to second base though as the throw was away. So a great successful bunt there by the Lehigh. A little shocked. As you can just, Navy tried to recover for the pitcher for Shire, but his throw to second was too high and too far away, allowing Cole to dive into second.
Yeah, and Holtz a good bunt in a good position, made the pitcher make a play, and he kind of just threw it away slightly off the bag, and a tough play for the second baseman covering.
44, Owen Whalewander.
So Owen Whalewander now up for Lehigh with 2 men on, no outs. So a bit of a jam here for Shira, as Cole takes a healthy lead. Oh, and the pitcher, and Shire just gets it away from him as he tries to check the runner, and Cole will be safe in at third. I think Shira had the opportunity to throw it, waited a second, and then threw it, and I think that moment of hesitation just threw him off. So now runners on the corners for Lehigh, as it'll still be Wallawander with an 0-0 count, no outs, but 2 men on.
Yeah, it's one of those reactions where you hesitate to throw, your mind thinks one thing, and your arm does the other, and you kind of just overthrew his man there. I think he wanted to hold on to the ball, but just slipped away, and now there's runners at the corners with no outs.
So Shira being checked on here does not look like it's just a performance issue, but it looks like an injury issue, as the trainer for Navy has come on to check on him as well as his coach. So this could be big news for the midshipmen if Shire cannot continue, as they'll have to go to the bullpen much earlier than I'm sure they expected.
Yeah, and Shire is one of the midshipmen's top pitchers here, getting the nod here in the second game, so this would be tough news for them.
And any pitcher that has to come into this game, to this moment with runners on the corner and no outs, will certainly be facing a tough task. But just about everyone except the outfield is checking on Shire right now.
Yeah, and in the first game, both teams only used 2 pitchers, so both teams still have a lot of relievers at their grasp here early on, but ideally you don't want to go to a reliever this early in the game. And hopefully they don't have to, and Shira can stay in this.
And Shira looks like he's set to continue. Still a little unsure what the exact issue there. He seemed to be feeling out his right arm a little bit, of course his throwing arm, but he looks good to continue, as he'll throw a couple warm-up pitches. Still seemed to be a little ginger with that hand. Might just be an issue with the cold weather here, maybe exacerbating an existing issue, or perhaps he has a a different injury from just this game thus far.
Yeah, it looks like they're still convening, discussing. He only threw one pitch there, and it didn't look like it felt very good.
Navy's coach is heading back to the dugout. The trainer seems to still be on the pitch, though. You know, Evan, I think this would be a beautiful day for baseball if it wasn't for this wind. It's a pretty sunny day, all things considered.
Yeah, any day is a beautiful day for baseball, but this one is just a bit too cold for my liking. However, we have baseball here. It's a great game, two great teams, so we'll definitely fight through this weather.
And it looks like Shira will be not set to continue, as he will have to exit the game, unfortunately, just at the bottom of the second through no fault of his own, seemingly just an injury issue, as that'll bring in number 44, Ryan Bibb, for the midshipman to make his appearance in this game.
Yeah, and Bibb coming into this game with a .496 ERA in 6 appearances. He only started one game, so he's used to these reliever spots, maybe not this early in the game. But it looks like he'll have to go a little further than he would in normal games, maybe pitch 3 or 4 innings to set up another reliever.
Of course, the advantage of him starting at least one game means he's probably a little used to going a little farther than most. So we'll see what Bibb makes use of it. Worth noting, he is only a freshman, so definitely not the scenario you want to be put in with runners on the corners and no men out.
Yeah, but being a freshman, it shows that they trust him with the ball in his hand here in this spot, 1-1 game. And they trust him to go a long way in this game, hopefully provide them with 3 or 4 quality innings.
And it's especially interesting that the wind once again picking up here. It is in Bibb's favor in that it'll carry his pitches, maybe give him a little extra velocity, though you never know which way this wind will swirl and twist and take the ball away from you.
Yeah, and usually wind doesn't really affect the game of baseball greatly, but I beg to differ today. First game we saw a lot of balls with good power on them, but just die down near the warning track. So definitely playing a factor. And both these teams are good power hitting teams, so we'd expect some long balls here, but we didn't see any yet.
So if you're just joining us, it's worth mentioning that this is the second leg of a doubleheader. That Navy won 2-1 in 10 innings, which will make this game only 7 innings of play. And in this game thus far, it's been pretty evenly matched, with Navy jumping out to a 1-0 start in the top of the first before Lehigh responded with one of their own in the bottom of the first. Navy then went out and had scoreless top of the second, while Lehigh now has runners on the corners thanks to a base hit and a bunt, as well as a missed pickoff throw by pitcher of Navy, Shira. Shira then had to exit the game with an apparent injury in his right arm. So that is a situation that the freshman Ryan Bibb steps himself into. And up next for Lehigh will be number 44, Owen Wallawander, the sophomore catcher out of Chatham, New Jersey. And we're still just waiting on Bibb as he gets warmed up and acclimated both to this weather, which is absolutely frigid today, and acclimated to the atmosphere itself, as the Lehigh faithful and the student section has slowly filled up after the start of the first game, which was frankly quite early for a Saturday morning. But this second game that started around 3 o'clock, thanks to the extras in the first game, has now filled the stands, and it looks like we are ready to go. As Wallawander will make his way over to the batter's box.
Yeah, and Wallawander this year sporting a .214 batting average coming into this game. Looking to bat in at least 1 run here with runners on the corner.
So Bibb will get ready for his first offering. He gets the sign. Will go into his windup, and it is a bunt from Wallawander down the first base line. And so Navy will get Wallawander out at first, but Lehigh will score 1 run, courtesy of number 4, Andrew Cole. And Wallawander does his job with the bunt.
Yeah, that was a great bunt by Wallawander down the down the right field line there. And great effort on the dive towards first base. Nearly snuck under the tag there, but called out.
And Sam Holtz, worth mentioning, advanced to second on that play. So there will be one man on second, that being Holtz, with Jake Whitlinger, Lehigh's leadoff hitter, now at the bat. Bibb's first pitch is low, that being a ball. Evan, what does it do to a young pitcher when the first thing he throws ends up in a run?
Yeah, it definitely knocks the confidence here, but he's a great pitcher. I feel like he'll definitely settle in here. Tough spot, obviously, so you can't expect much from him this inning, but as he settles in, he'll get better and better, I'm sure of it.
So Bibb's next pitch is also a little low, so a 2-0 count for Whitlinger, as he'll be looking to get on base. Excuse me. And it's again just a little outside for Bibb, so a 3-0 count. Not the ideal start for Ryan Bibb. Gives up a run and now is in a 3-0 count. It is worth mentioning the pitch clock is definitely going down here at this moment. There's only 6 seconds left, as Bibb will go into his windup and delivers his first official strike of this game. So it'll be a 3-1 count to Whitlinger.
Yeah, I don't think Bibb would really mind walking Whitlinger here, because that would set up the double play ball, and they could really use it here.
And Bibb checks the runner. Whitlinger pops it up into right field. The fielder will make the play. Holtz will get on his way going to third, but the throw is right on the mark, sending him scattering back to second base. So Bibb gets his first out of the game. That doesn't result in a run, bringing up number 5, Braden Hubbard, the first-year outfielder for Lehigh.
Yeah, that was a great throw by the right fielder there to keep the runner at second base. I thought for sure his body was turned the wrong way towards third base. I thought for sure he was going to get there in time, but able to whip that ball across the diamond.
So now Hubbard will look to drive in Holtz, the 2 H's currently on the diamond for Lehigh, as Bibb's first pitch of this affair will be a strike down the middle, fastball. Bibb will check Holtz at second. Hopefully not going to make a meal of it like Shira did, as Hubbard, hits it strong down the first base line, but a terrific play by Navy at first base to catch it, and that'll be the end of the bottom of the second, with Lehigh taking a 2-1 lead, and we'll be right back with you for the top of the third. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to J. David Walker Field between Lehigh and Navy. So now batting for Navy is number 22, Zane Rabba, as it is Tolliver on the mound for Lehigh in a 2-1 lead. Currently a 1-1 count here for Tolliver.
Yeah, and Tolliver's offense providing with some run support here, looking to get another 0 here on the scoreboard in the top of the third, as he did in the second.
Tolliver now throws another strike into 1-2, and that one just a little bit to the outside, and it'll be 2-2 count for Arava of Navy midshipmen. As Evan was saying, Lehigh's got themselves into a nice position and worked themselves to a 2-1 lead as Tolliver's next pitch. And despite some attempt at framing that time, it'll be a ball, and it'll be a 3-2 full count for Tolliver facing Arava, looking to get the first out of this inning. Tolliver will settle in, gets the sign, goes into his windup, and that ball is popped up, going back to left field. It is swirling in the wind, but it is caught by, that was Braden Hubbard of Lehigh with a nice play despite facing the wind and I believe the sun as well. So that'll be out number 1 of this top of the third. Pretty good out at bat for Tolliver. And that'll bring up Eduardo Diaz for the midshipman.
And Diaz comes into this 269 batting average. Very good early on here. 3 home runs, which is second on Navy.
As Tolliver's first pitch finds his mark, that'll be strike number 1. As Tolliver goes into his windup again, that one just a little bit low, trying to get Diaz on the breaking ball, and that'll be a 1-1 count.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed with Tolliver. He really enjoys pitching the off-speed pitches. We know he's capable of throwing that 90-mile-an-hour fastball, but he loves the off-speed pitches. Here's a ground ball to shortstop, throws it across, and in time.
And as you were saying, it looked like Tolliver went to the off-speed again, and despite it being a good position for a hit, I think the speed threw Diaz off, and that'll be out number 2, and that'll bring up number 10. Number 1, Logan Keller for the midshipman, as Tolliver will be looking to go 3 men up, 3 men down here, as Keller pops that one up to the left field, going foul. Hubbard will chase after it, but it'll be a foul.
Yeah, and Keller, along with Murtha, are 2 of Navy's best hitters this season. Keller has a .339 batting average and leads the team with 4 home runs, as well as 23 RBIs. As I mentioned, one of those 5 hitters with 20-plus RBIs.
And Murtha is on deck for the midshipman, I believe, so it is worth mentioning that Navy's trying to set up an attempted dynamic duo here, as Tolliver's next pitch will be low, and that'll be ball number 1, so it'll be a 1-1 count facing Keller. So Tolliver again looking to try and go 3 men up, 3 men down here after he got the first 2 outs of this inning. Tolliver's next pitch finds his mark. That'll be strike number 2, so a 1-2 count for Lehigh.
Yeah, and we've seen Navy get some pretty good contact on some of these pitches, but I don't think Tolliver really minds that. He's a pitch-to-contact type of pitcher, and he doesn't mind it being put in play as long as it's not over the wall.
As that one is popped up in the shallow right, diving play, and Lehigh just can't come up with it. I believe that was Andrew Cole making the attempted play, but it was just a little in front of him. Again, the wind may have played a difference there, and that just pulling it a little bit farther from Cole there. But that'll bring up, as Evan said, Murtha for Navy. So 1 man on, but 2 outs as Tolliver trying to get himself another scoreless inning.
Yeah, and you can see these outfielders, usually your first instinct is to take a step back so that you could run onto the ball to make a play. They're doing this, but the ball is just dying down in front of them, just too short, and they can't get there in time. It's super unfortunate for the outfielders to have to deal with this wind.
And again popped up as that is swirling in the air, but Lehigh comes up with it this time, and that'll retire the side, as we'll be right back with you with the bottom of the third. All right, welcome back to J. David Walker Field for the second leg of this doubleheader that Lehigh leads 2-1, heading into the bottom of the third, bringing up number 34, Rafe Perrick, who's been off to a dynamite start to today and this season. As the first pitch, just a little to the inside, that'll be ball number 1.
Yeah, with Perrick and Butler both coming up this inning, this is a good time to kind of pat on some runs here for Lehigh.
And there seemed to be a little issue there in terms of Perrick stepping out of the back of the box as Bibb tried to get a quick pitch in. Umpire had none of it, and it'll be a 1-0 count still. Bibb's next pitch right down the middle for strike number 1, 1-1 count. As Bibb gets the sign, will deliver. Perrick, and that is a hit into single into left field, getting over the shortstop, and that'll bring up his partner in crime, Justin Butler, number 19. These two have been dynamite all year, and Butler's looking to get Perrick back in to home once again.
Yeah, and Perrick with that hit approaches the 400 batting average, which he's currently sitting second in the Patriot League in, so he'll look to raise that and hopefully get into first place just behind Sean Keys of Bucknell. Off to a great start, 420 batting average.
So Perrick, the contact hitter, Butler, hoping to drive him in as Bibb's next pitch is a little bit to the outside, so that'll be ball 1. So Bibb checks the runner, delivers, Butler fouls that one, goes off the net behind home plate, bringing up a 1-1 count. Of course, Perrick, when he was on the bags earlier, stole a base. We'll see if he looks to steal again. But like last time, he doesn't necessarily look like he wants to. So Bibb will deliver that one high, so it'll bring 2-2 count for Justin Butler. Bibb, of course, coming in relief of Matt Shira, who exited with an apparent right hand injury. And Bibb's next pitch is popped up by Butler, going into right field into foul territory, and it, luckily for Butler, escapes any kind of fielding, so the count will remain 2-2, and Butler stays alive in this at-bat.
Yeah, and that ball was definitely swirling in the sky. It looked like it was going straight to right field and then started curling further and further to the right field until it eventually went out of play, and that's the effect that the wind can have on the ball.
As I've mentioned, it's extremely windy out here today, as well as shivery in the air. Butler's next hit is hit right to the second baseman, and the midshipmen will turn 2. So what went from an excellent start for the inning for the Mountain Hawks turns into a desperate one, as now that brings up to bat number 10, Tyler Young. No men on, 2 men out.
Yeah, and that was a great play by Brock Murtha. Good job to pick it off the bounce and get the quick turn with plenty of time.
Bibb definitely trying to go quick there, as there is a ball 1, definitely not taking as much time as Shira or Tolliver were, as that one is hit and it'll go foul. Definitely some good contact there from Tyler Young, though. Young will step back into the batter's box, and here's Bibb's offering. That one too high and too wide, so that'll bring a ball 2, so a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I've noticed Bibb likes to pitch very fast, trying to get the batters off guard here, make them uncomfortable.
That one is fouled off by Young, once again to the right field line, so he's kind of slicing his hits right now. You'd expect a little bit more of a pull. So a 2-2 count. Young trying to get on base with 2 men off. And that one again is fouled off. Going back for it was the catcher, but it is long gone behind the Navy dugout. So the count will remain 2-2, and Young will remain alive in this at-bat.
Yeah, and Bibb has some good speed on his pitches. I think that's why the Lehigh pitchers are having a tough time of getting around on the ball.
So Young will square up. Bibb's offering, and that one is to the outside, so ball 3. Full count here for Mr. Tyler Young, the infielder. He's looking to get on base here. It once again goes quick. Young drives it to the third baseman, who will throw across the diamond, and it is a good play. And that'll be out number 3, retiring the side. And we'll be right back for the top of the 4th. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to J. David Walker Field. I'm Jackson Cramp here with Evan Woodward as we are in the top of the 4th with Lehigh having a 2-1 lead, as Teddy Tolliver on the mound for the Mountain Hawks will deliver his first pitch of the inning, which is a swing and a miss by number 3, Andrew Manning. So Tolliver going back to his breaking ball that time, getting the swing and a miss.
Yeah, Manning in his first at-bat flew out, I believe. So looking to get a hit here and start something for the midshipmen.
So that time Tolliver's pitch just a little too high, as it'll be 1-1 count. Tolliver goes into his winds up and delivers, and that one was hanging a little bit, and Tolliver is punished for his mistake by a single for Andrew Manning.
Yeah, and Tolliver, those 2 consecutive pitches, I believe they were curveballs. Manning let the first one go, then got a good look at the second one and strung it into center field for a single. Great job by him.
So that'll bring up number 9, Evan Brown for the midshipman, as he will have 1 man on first base with no outs. Tolliver gets the sign he likes, delivers. That one's a bit low though, so it'll be ball 1, 1-0 count for Evan Brown. Once again, the sun has disappeared here at Walker Field, and we're left with the cold wind as Tolliver gets the sign he likes and delivers. And that one just got away from him there. He threw it over the Navy hitter that time. So Tolliver trying to settle back in here after a pretty efficient start, but 2-0 count with 1 man on is not where you want to be.
Yeah, and I think if that pitch had a bit more speed, it would have got away from the catcher, and we'd see a man on second instead of first base.
So Tolliver checks the runner, gets the sign, delivers, and Brown hits the gap between first and second. That'll be Manning coming around to third. The throw is not in time, and because of that, Brown is on second, Manning is on third, and no men out, and that'll bring up number 17, Victor Isquedo for the midshipmen. Tolliver in quite a jam right now.
Yeah, and the Navy dugout really loving it, getting him back into the game. 2 runners in scoring position here for a great hitter in number 17, Izquierdo.
So Tolliver will check his runners and deliver to Izquierdo. Will take the first pitch, being a ball, 1-0.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Izquierdo is not a stranger to situations like these, having 24 RBIs on the season, looking to add 2 more.
As Izquierdo pops that one up into right field, a little indecision by Lehigh, who's got it. It is caught, and it is caught just in time by Dom Patrizzi to scare the runner at third to stay put. So Tolliver gets one of the outs he needed. So 1 out with runners on second and third, bringing up number 7, Tyler Boudard for the midshipman.
I'm a bit surprised that Manning didn't decide to tag up and take home plate there, because the ball was popped up, but the second baseman caught it in an awkward position where it didn't look like he'd be able to make a great throw to home plate, but he decided to stay in place at third base.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Patrizzi was a little bit caught out there. He definitely swiveled in time, but luckily for the Mountain Hawks, Manning stayed put, and as now there's a pitch conference with the infield, the catcher, and the pitching coach all talking to Tolliver. Hopefully Tolliver can stay in this game because he's had a pretty efficient start, just struggling a bit in the top of the fourth, and he looks like he's set to continue.
Yeah, maybe I think they're making a discussion about whether or not they should just place a runner on first base here and go for the double play instead of facing the batter here, number 7, Tyler Bouchard, because he's a pretty good hitter, 217 batting average, definitely capable of batting 2 home here. So
definitely a decision for the Mountain Hawks. So the double play is still on right now. Excuse me, no, it is not. You're right. And there's a bunt by Boudard as it runs foul. Lehigh was definitely caught out from that bunt. So Navy shows their hand, but Lehigh a little nervous now because that definitely would have scored a run, right, Evan?
Yeah, it was a nearly perfect bunt. Went down the line. Maybe the wind had something to do with it, blowing it out of play.
So Boudard will get back into the batter's box, dig back in as Tolliver gets the sign he likes, delivers, and another bunt. And that is a rough call by the umpire there. So Boudard certainly leaned in a bit for the bunt, and they'll call a hit by catcher's interference, I believe. That is certainly something the Lehigh's dugout seems quite upset about.
Yeah, and Tolliver's very upset about that call. It looked like the batter maybe stepped back too far on the plate, and the catcher might have caught his bat a little bit, and that would have been resulting in the catcher interference. But a surprising call there, nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely rough, and I think that'll be it for Tolliver today, as there will be another pitch conference, and I see Lehigh making a pitching change, as that'll be number 16, Liam O'Hearn, coming into the game in relief in the top of the fourth. Or will Tolliver try to continue here? No, he will not. Excuse me, that'll be number 36, Tommy Lamar, coming in relief. Excuse me.
Yeah, and Tommy Lamar has made 10 appearances this season so far, 14 innings pitched, 3.77 ERA. One of Lehigh's main relievers to turn to, and that's why they'll turn to him here in this second game today. And also to mention, tomorrow the Mountain Hawks also have another doubleheader against Bucknell. So 4 games in 2 days is a tough schedule, but we'll see how Lehigh can finish this weekend.
Obviously, the Mountain Hawks would like a win here today after dropping the first leg of this doubleheader, like to even up the series against Navy. Lamar, just for a little background, is a 6-foot right-handed pitcher sophomore out of Chatham, New Jersey as well. So a couple of Chatham, New Jersey guys between these two teams. And he's in a bit of a rough spot with 1 out, 3 men on, bases loaded, and definitely not where you want to be as a relief pitcher coming in. But that is also exactly what you want, as you want that opportunity to prove yourself as one of the top guys in this bullpen, as he takes a few warm-up pitches, and we are almost ready to go in the top of the 4th inning here at J. David Walker Field.
Yeah, we should mention Tolliver, I think, had a very good game today. Just a few poorly placed pitches that resulted in hits and a series of unfortunate events in this half inning here with the pitcher or the catcher's interference. I apologize. Catcher's interference that loaded the bases. So other than that, a very good game to put up some zeros on the scoreboard.
So Lamar's first offering to number 26, Jack Colella of Midshipman, is a strike, so 0-1 count. As Lamar's next pitch is fouled off, so 0-2. Definitely what Lamar would be liking to see as he starts his time here on the mound. And he'll shake out his right arm a bit, get back into the groove as he faces Colella. And the next offering is swung on again, and it gets away from the third baseman, as that'll score 1 as the second runner comes home and the throw is not in time. So the Midshipman will score 2 runs on that base hit by Jack Colella, bringing the score to 3-2, as Lamar's relief attempt is unsuccessful at this point. So we now have 2 men on for the Midshipman and only 1 out.
Yeah, and great job by Colella there. Came into this game with 2 RBIs, now has 4, has doubled his total, and great clutch hitting there by him to allow the Midshipman to take the lead here, 3-2 in the top of the 4th inning.
So Lamar's next offering to number 22, Zane Raba, is a ball that almost got away from the catcher. So he now has to try to resettle himself back in after trying to get Tolliver out of the jam. Lamar will check his runners and deliver, and that is hit down the first base line fair, and that'll be 1 out, bringing it 2 outs on the inning. But both runners will advance, so now Lamar has to deal with runners at second and third, as number 10, Eduardo Diaz, will come up to bat for the Midshipman.
Yeah, and that was a good sliding play by the first baseman there for Lehigh. Great job to keep the ball in front of him.
So Diaz will dig into the batter's box. Lamar will steady himself. He'll go into his windup and deliver. Strike right down the middle with a fastball. Diaz will get right back in, ready to go. And Lamar's next pitch, just a little bit too low. It'll be 1-1 count. Lamar will ready himself once again, goes to the windup. That one is too high, so a 2-1 count. A little bit of another jam here for the Madhawks. Trailing 3-2 now. Lamar will wind up and deliver. That one is too low as well, so 3-1 count here for Eduardo Diaz of the Midshipman. He'll dig back in. Lamar will get the sign, wind up and deliver, and that one's to the outside, so load back up the bases and bring up number 1, Logan Keller, for the Midshipmen in a 4th inning that felt like forever for the Mountain Hawks.
Yeah, and Keller is a dangerous man to be up at the plate with the bases loaded. He's really going to try to make the most of this opportunity here, really break this game open for Navy.
As Lamar's first pitch to Keller is a ball, the breaking ball, 1-0 on the count. As the wind once again picks up and swirls, hoping to add a couple more miles on Lamar's velocity, but it results in ball 2 in his next offering to Keller. So Lamar inherited the bases loading and is now loading them back up himself after surrendering 2 runs. As that one is again ball 3. So a 3-0 count, bases loaded for Lamar facing Keller. Not the ideal situation, to say the least.
Yeah, and Keller knows this pitch is going to be in the strike zone somewhere.
So Lamar will deliver, and it is not in the strike zone. It gets away from him, and that'll be a 4-2 lead for Navy as Lamar walks in a runner.
Yeah, and unfortunate there. Maybe the wind having a factor in this game with control. We've seen a few walks here by both sides. Nonetheless, Navy takes a 4-2 lead.
So Lamar now getting a talking to by his catcher. That will be Owen Wallawander giving him his little pat on the back, get himself back going. So same situation though, bases loaded, 2 outs. This time it'll be Barack Murtha, an equally dangerous hitter as Lamar's first offering. Will be called strike, and the Navy bench does not like it one bit. But maybe it is what Lamar needs to get back into the groove. So 0-1 count here as he'll deliver. That one to the outside once again. Seems to be having a little bit of issues keeping it inside of the zone right at this moment. But Lamar will lock back in as Murtha digs back in, and Lamar delivers. As that will be ball 2, so 2-1 count, as they got leaving too low for the catcher, it seemed that time.
Yeah, but the catchers have been doing a great job of just keeping the ball in front of him here. A wild pitch will definitely bring in one runner and advance the others, so good job by him.
So Lamar will get the sign and deliver, and that one is dropped by the catcher, but it'll be ball 3. So Lamar got put into a bad situation and has not been making the most of it thus far. Lamar will steady himself, gets the sign, goes into his windup and delivers, and that is another walk, and it'll walk in another runner in a disastrous 4th inning for Lehigh, as the midshipmen have taken a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, maybe at this point, if I was Lehigh's coach, I'd make a meeting on the mound, and it looks like he will. Maybe just a talk, maybe look to switch pitchers. I believe there's one pitcher warming up in the bullpen currently.
So Lehigh had a 2-1 lead heading into this inning and is now down 5-2, courtesy of a base hit that drove in 2 runners, and now 2 walked in, and I do see a trotting out Lehigh pitcher ready to come in for Tommy Lamar, as that is number 20, Tyler Thompson, the senior out of Enola, Pennsylvania, who looks set to continue this game at the expense of Tommy Lamar, who will check out.
Yeah, and Thompson, just like Lamar, has 10 appearances this season, 9 innings pitched. In those 9 innings, he's given up 11 runs. So looking to decrease his ERA here, but obviously he's put in a very tough spot with the bases loaded, and just trying to mitigate the damage here in this inning. Mountain Hawks just need one more out, but it's been tough to come by in this inning.
Obviously, the question becomes, using 2 relievers this early for Lehigh, what happens to the rest of the game? What happens tomorrow with another doubleheader? It's certainly an issue for these Mountain Hawks right now.
Yeah, and that's a good question. Tomorrow, maybe the Mountain Hawks definitely have to turn to some youngsters, some inexperienced pitchers, but they're just going to have to step up in both of those games here against Bucknell.
And you'll also have to hope that your starting pitchers can go a little bit deeper than what we've seen here today out of both Shira and Tolliver, who both exited before the 5th inning.
Yeah, and I was kind of surprised at the move to pull out Tolliver so early. I understand there's 2 men on base, but he's still in a groove, I believe. Maybe they were trying to save him for tomorrow to use him in one of the 2 games. Nonetheless, it hasn't really worked out for the Mountain Hawks.
Yeah, I think I'm in concurrence with you there. I think the reason Tolliver was pulled out there was it seemed he was just getting a little frustrated, and I think the coaches were a little unsure if he could calm himself back down. But I agree. I think Tolliver, the men on weren't necessarily bad pitches, and so I think I would like to see him given at least one more batter there. But here we are right now with Tyler Thompson facing number 3, Andrew Manning, who seemed to start this whole shindig for the midshipmen in this top of the 4th. Thompson looking to get him out and end this inning of suffering for the Mountain Hawks. It's Thompson's first pitch of the afternoon, almost evening at this point, will be a breaking ball on the inside. So Manning will dig back in. Thompson will ready himself. Delivers. And that one is low, despite some framing from Owen Wallawander. So a 2-0 count for Thompson. Definitely not what he wanted to see get off the gates. So Thompson will deliver, and that one is too high. So 3-0 count, 3 men on, 2 outs. Manning, once again, who started this, I guess you can call it a rally since they were trailing in the top of the 4th, now trying to inflict more pain on the Mount Hawks. As that time, Thompson hits his mark right down the middle. Little surprised Manning didn't swing that time with a 3-0 count, but 3-1 now for Thompson as he'll deliver. And that time, Manning did swing, but he fouls it to the right-hand side. So a 3-2 count right back into this at bat for Thompson. A strike, a swing and a miss, a little grounder. All the Mount Hawks need right here. So Thompson will deliver, and that'll be a foul ball behind us. Happened a couple times. I'd like to blame it on the wind, but we'll just say it's a great pitch by Thompson.
Thompson just needing one more pitch here to get the Mount Hawks out of this rough inning.
So Thompson delivers as Manning pokes that ball into shallow center field, but Lehigh will get the out. So 4 runs scored by the midshipmen in the top of the 4th gives them a 5-2 lead, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere for the bottom of the 4th. All right, welcome back to the J. David Walker Field. Lehigh facing Navy, now trailing 2-5, as Dom Patrizzi will step into the batter's box. And he's facing off against Ryan Bibb still, who came in for relief of Matt Shira due to an apparent right hand injury. Patrizzi now gets himself into a 2-0 count situation. Bibb will deliver quickly once again, and that one is too high. So 3-0 count to Patrizzi, looking to get Lehigh back into this ball game.
Yeah, and Bibb has done a great job here for Navy, gotten into the 4th inning here, which we mentioned when he came into this game due to Shira's injury, he'd have to go a bit further than he's used to, and he's done just that. If he can get through this inning and set up the closer, that'd be great for Navy.
So Bibb gets consecutive strikes there, so now it is a full count to Patrizzi. Bibb will deliver quickly once again, and Patrizzi swings and misses. Ball gets away from the catcher, but the throw to first is in time, and Patrizzi is out. So 1 man out for Lehigh immediately, and that'll bring up number 4, Andrew Cole for Lehigh. Andrew Cole, a bit of a Bauer hitter, as Bibb's first offering will be low of the breaking ball, so 1-0 count to Cole.
Yeah, and if I'm Lehigh, if I get on base here, I'm going to try to be a little bit more aggressive because it's already the bottom of the 4th inning, and this is only a 7-inning game. do the doubleheader rules here in Patriot League play. So if I'm getting on base, I'm being aggressive, maybe sending in pinch runners, trying to get any runs you can to claw back.
So Bibb's next pitch is fouled off, making it a 1-2 count to Cole. Trying to start a kind of a rally here for Lehigh after giving up 4 runs in the top of the 4th. So Bibb will take his time this time, shakes off the first pitch, likes the second, and he'll deliver. And Cole will drive that into center field, but it is caught, bringing up out number 2 for the midshipman, and bringing to the plate number 1, Jake Whitlinger, excuse me. Excuse me, not Jake Whitlinger. That'll be number 13, Sam Holtz.
Yeah, and Holtz was the one last time up who laid down that great bunt, and it looks like he got scraped by a pitcher and will take a base.
Yep, that hit his right thigh, it seemed. Gave a little bit of protest to the umpire, and the umpire was inclined to agree. So now batting for the Mountain Hawks will be number 44, Owen Wallawander, with 1 man on and 2 outs. And there'll be a meeting on the mound for the midshipmen, as Bibb will be talked to a little bit. Looks like it may be the end of his time today with us. He's pitched a good game, as Evan has mentioned. He came in relief of Matt Shira and has done a pretty good job of steadying the game off for the midshipmen. As once again the sun disappears and we're left with the cold wind.
It's only going to get colder as the day goes on. Last game finished in the 10th inning, so this game got pushed back a little later than it normally would have with doubleheader rules, but normally the first game would have went 7 innings. Second game, 9 innings. Were flipped here, where the first game was 10 innings. This game is 7 innings.
So Bibb's first pitch to Wallawander is fouled off by the big catcher as it goes swirling off behind us. Bibb, of course, has been pitching quick all day, and he'll ready himself and pitch again. That one just a bit too high, narrowly missing the strike zone to bring up 1-1 count.
Yeah, and Bibb really likes to switch up his wind-up speed to catch the batter off guard. And here's the steal attempt and great throw, and got him.
Holtz is out at second. So that'll be the end of the 4th inning. We'll be back for the top of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to J. David Walker Field in the second leg of the doubleheader, top of the 5th, between the Lehigh Mountain Hawks and the Navy Midshipmen. Up to bat is number 9, Evan Brown, facing off against Tyler Thompson for the Mountain Hawks. Thompson's first pitch is outside, misses the corner, so 1-0 count. Of course, 2-1 lead for the Mountain Hawks just an inning ago has become a 5-2 trailing as Thompson's next pitch finds its mark, so even up the count at 1-1.
Yeah, and Lehigh's hitting hasn't been up to par to how they usually hit. First game only had 5 hits in 10 innings. This game, only 2 hits in essentially 5 innings. So trying to get more runners on base here, but Navy's up to bat, so they're going to try to mitigate their attack here.
So Brown will dig back in on a 2-1 count, and as Hill found that one off to make it 2-2. Thompson, of course, came in to just get 1 out in the top of the 4th, so he should be able to go this whole inning, hopefully. Thompson will pitch and delivers, and that ball will be popped up heading towards the Navy dugout, but the play is made with a fantastic catch. I believe that was by Sam Holtz by the Mountain Hawks.
And great job there to make that play. Falling against the fence there. Always a tough play when you don't know where the fence is.
Now batting for the midshipman, number 17, Victor Izquierdo.
So Victor Izquierdo will dig back in for the midshipman as Thompson will steady himself and delivers. That one's to the outside. He misses his mark, so to 1-0 count to Victor Izquierdo, who will dig back in as Thompson readies himself and delivers once again a breaking ball to the outside. So a 2-0 count to Izquierdo, who comes back into the batter's box. Thompson likes the sign. He'll deliver. That was a fastball, but Izquierdo gets the hit. Throw from third to first is high, but a great play by the first baseman, number 19, Justin Butler. The ball was a little high from third base, but he got it, came back down with it, and tagged the runner out. So a great play by the Mountain Hawks to get out number 2 of this inning.
Yeah, I was a bit concerned that the first base ump would call interference on that because it looked like the throw was away. Butler jumped up and kind of stepped in the base runner's path, but applied the tag and got the out. Great job by Butler.
As Bouchard now, first pitch he hits right down the middle, and that'll be a base runner on for Navy with 2 outs, and that will bring up number 26, Jack Colella for Navy. Thompson got the first 2 outs of this inning, looking to get the third, although he has given up a runner now, courtesy of Tyler Bouchard. You can see Thompson just trying to warm up his hands a little bit with these frigid temperatures out here today.
Number 26, Jack Colella.
Thompson will get the sound, and first pitch is fouled off to the right-hand side, way over the Navy bench. So an 0-1 count in the top of the 5th inning of the second leg of the doubleheader.
Yeah, and Colella was responsible for that hit that brought in 2 last inning. So a great piece of hitting by him.
Thompson's next pitch is a strike. As Evan was mentioning, Colella helped start the run-scoring party of last inning. He drove in 2 runs with an RBI single before 2 more walks were given up by Tommy Lamar that drove in runs. As the runner will go, and Tyler Bouchard will be safe at second. He will not advance any further, though. So now a man is on second. Definitely not a great position for Lehigh Mountain Hawks. So 2 men out, but 1 man on second in a scoring position, that being Tyler Bouchard. As Jack Colella will get ready to step back into the batter's box, facing a 1-2 count from Tyler Thompson.
Yeah, now with that runner at second base, Colella has another chance to get an RBI, but instead he'll strike out swinging.
Yep, and that is correct, as Thompson will be retired, and we'll see you in the bottom of the 5th. Welcome back to J. David Walker Field between this matchup between Lehigh and Navy. It is 5-2 in the bottom of the fifth. As Lehigh's catcher, number 44, Owen Wallawander, digs into the batter's box to face off against Navy's number 44, Ryan Bibb, who came in relief in the second inning and has pitched a great game so far. But 2 quick balls for Bibb will make it a 2-0 count for Wallawander. So he'll dig back in, and Bibb's next offering is fouled off by Wallawander. We have a brief pause here for the umpire to get some extra baseballs. So Wallawander digs back in. Bibb's next offering is sliced up, pop. Bit of a chopper as Bibb makes a great throw. Seemed a little bit of indecision by Wallawander, going to run immediately, but all outs are the same, and that'll bring up number 1 for Lehigh, Jake Whitlinger, the leadoff hitter.
Yeah, and it looked like that play at first base was relatively close. Wallawander had a slow start out of the batter's box there because I believe he thought it went foul, but maybe if he ran from the start, he may have got there in time. But unfortunate for him in the Mountain Hawks.
Definitely an occurrence there with you, but Whitlinger will take a ball, so it'll be 1-0 count. Bibb likes the sign, and he'll go into windup and deliver as Whitlinger hits one down the right field line, and it slices foul for a second. It looked fair, but curves outside, so it'll be a 1-1 count for Whitlinger.
Yeah, Whitlinger not his usual self here in this game today. 2 at-bats, no hits, and a strikeout. Batting over 300 on the season, so you'd expect him to get on base here.
The law of averages certainly says that, but that'll be ball number 2. So Bibb faces Whitlinger, 2-2 count. And that next pitch by Whitlinger is fouled off into the oblivion. Whitlinger, as you said, is not only the leadoff guy, but quite a high-efficiency hitter. So hopefully he gets back on track here. Bibb shakes off the first pitch, gets what he likes, and delivers. That's a ball, though, so maybe he didn't like it. 3-2 full count here for Whitlinger, facing off against Bibb, who has pitched a great game after coming in relief. As that one by Whitlinger is fouled off down the left field line. So he stays alive in this at-bat.
Yeah, and Lehigh, I believe, without a hit here since the second inning, trying to break that cold streak here.
And that's not a hit, but it does the same work as Whitlinger is going to able to take a trot to first base. And that'll bring up number 5, Braden Hubbard, the first year, who has done a good job in his first season and will hope to capitalize on this in this bottom of the 5th plate appearance. So Bibb will steady himself and deliver. Hubbard hits a right to the shortstop, and that might be 2. And it is 2, and that'll retire the side. So we'll see you in a second. Be right back for the top of the 6th. Welcome back to J. David Walker Field. My name is Jackson Cram. Partnered with me is Evan Woodward. You'll join us in the top of the 6th. Navy with a 5-2 lead as they're up to hit. Tyler Thompson for Lehigh, who's pitched since the last out of the 4th inning, gets off with a strike here. And he'll steady himself and deliver another one. And that'll be strike number 2 off of a check swing or a lack thereof.
Yeah, and I didn't get to mention this yet, but Zane Rabba, who's at bat here, has 18 stolen bases on the year, which leads the Patriot League. Very impressive. We haven't been able to get to see him on base here as he strikes out swinging here. So that's 4 at bats for him, no hits.
So exactly what Thompson wanted to see to start this 5th inning, or 6th inning, excuse me. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. And up next for Navy is number 10, Eduardo Diaz. As Thompson will steady himself and deliver a fastball down the middle for strike number 1.
Yeah, and Diaz here today, 3 plate appearances, 2 walks. So great eye today by him.
Thompson's next pitch gets away from the catcher. That'll be ball 1. As there was that awkward indecision of whether or not Lehigh or Navy had to collect that baseball. The honor went to Navy. As Thompson steadies himself, delivers, and that one just a bit outside. So that'll be a 2-1 count off against Eduardo Diaz of Navy. Diaz, as Evan was mentioning, has a good eye today with 2 walks. Looking to may add a 3rd one, but he'll swing and he'll get a base hit instead of a walk as he hits a line drive to 3rd base and gets used to the outfield and Braden Hubbard.
Yeah, and that's even better for Diaz than a walk. Base hit. Great job by him. 4 plate appearances, 3 times on base.
That definitely gets you a dinner after this one. But Navy as a whole has put on a good performance ever since the pretty much the 3rd or so inning. They've been definitely locked in. As up for Navy has been Logan Keller.
Yeah, and speaking of hits, Keller 2 plate appearances today, 2 hits and a walk. So he's come up to the plate 3 times, gone on base 3 times. Very similar to Diaz.
It's been a common tale for this Navy team here today. As Thompson's first 2 pitches to Keller are both balls. As it stands, Navy will sweep the series against Lehigh, this doubleheader, as they won the first game earlier today, 2-1 in the 10th inning. So definitely a little bit different scoreline situation in the 2nd leg. As Thompson's next pitch, strike 1, and Navy didn't like that one. They thought it was a bit low.
Yeah, and I definitely think Lehigh losing the first game in the fashion they did in extra innings in the 10th really takes some of the momentum away, and maybe that's carried over here into the 2nd game.
As Keller fouls that one off to make it 2-2 count. Thompson has a chance to turn 2 here and get himself out of a runner-on situation. Keller, though, as my partner mentioned, has been quite efficient at the plate, though. So Thompson checks the runner and delivers. Keller hits one down the right baseline. That'll be foul. So count remains 2-2, contrary to what the scoreboard says, where momentarily we had a rare 2-3 count. So Thompson will get ready to go to face off against Keller. Count still 2-2, 1 man on, 1 man off, meaning out. And Thompson gets the sign he likes and delivers. And Keller pops that one up into center field. 3 Lehigh players there, and 1 makes the catch. So 1 man on, 2 men out for Lehigh, defending against Navy's number 4, Brock Murtha. That was Jake Willinger who made the catch out of center field. So Thompson's got a man on and 2 men out. We'll see if he can finish the job here in the top of the 6th. And Murtha gets a base hit. That'll be between right and center field, as that'll advance Diaz up to third, and Murtha will stay at first.
Yeah, and Murtha there. We talked about heading into this doubleheader with a 381 batting average. That'll definitely increase it even higher. And also, he has 14 stolen bases, so with runners at first and third, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go here to get 2 men in running position, or in scoring position, and to just look to kind of pad this lead that they have here heading into these final 2 innings.
Number 3, Andrew Manning.
So Manning up to hit, who started the scoring bonanza in terms of getting on base in the 4th inning for Navy. And Murtha does indeed go, but it is a foul ball by Manning.
And maybe that's spoiled the surprise there for Murtha. Maybe you'll try to run again, because if you throw that ball down to second base, then the runner on third base still has a chance to advance to home. I don't know if Lehigh wants to chance that.
Certainly something to keep an eye on, as Murtha gets a healthy lead and does go again. The throw to second gets away, and that'll score a runner, so worst case scenario for Lehigh, as that was number 10, Eduardo Diaz, scoring, with Murtha advancing to second, and Manning is still at the plate.
And what did I say?
I think that's the opposite of the commentator's curse right there. Commentators, good luck. Except not for us.
Jinxed it.
Yeah, you jinxed the jinx. So Manning will ground out to first, and that'll end the inning. But the score has been extended to be 6-2. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 6th. And welcome back to J. David Walker Field. I'm Jackson Cramp here with Evan Woodward for Sports Broadcasting Club here at Lehigh, as the Mountain Hawks trail 6-2 to the Navy Midshipmen in the bottom of the 6th on the 2nd leg of this doubleheader. As up to bat is Rafe Parrott, who's had a great start to this season and to today as well, facing off against number 44, Ryan Bibb, who came in relief of Matthew Shira.
Yeah, and if you're Lehigh, this is where the comeback starts right now. You have Parrish up to bat, which is your best hitter. You have the top of the lineup. So this is where you have to start here. You can't wait till the last inning.
And it is a 3-0 count, so exactly what Parrish likes to see. As he'll take that strike. Bibb, of course, has been mixing up his pitch speeds, oftentimes going quite quick in between pitches. And it might have cost him that time, and so walk Parrish.
Yeah, and Bibb has been in this game for an extensive amount of time, so I think he's maybe on a short leash here in this bottom of the 6th inning, as there is someone in the bullpen, I believe, for Navy.
Number 19, Justin Butler.
And Justin Butler is now up to hit. He's Parrish's partner in crime for this Lehigh Mountain Hawks baseball team, both hitting exceptionally well this season. Down 0-1 in the count. Butler will hit one to the third baseman. Navy will attempt to turn 2, and they do. So the partners in crime aren't successful that time. Parrish tried to slide in second to no avail. Butler was just too slow, and that'll bring up number 10, Tyler Young, for the Mountain Hawks with a 2 out hole right now.
Yeah, and unfortunate for Butler. I believe that's his second ground into a double play here today. But great job by Bibb there to get 2 outs after a rough start with Parrish being walked.
As Young's hit fouls off, so the count is now 1-1. Tyler Young hitting in the 5-hole today. And that one from Bibb is to the outside, so that'll be ball number 2. 2-1 count to Young as Bibb will go quick. And Young will foul that one as well, so that'll be 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bibb will deliver to Young, who hits it right to the third baseman, who will make the throw across the diamond, and that'll be out number 3 as Bibb retires aside. And we'll be right back for the top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to J. David Walker Field. I'm Jackson Cramp with Evan Woodward as part of Lehigh Sports Broadcasting Club. The Navy Midshipmen lead the Lehigh Mountain Hawks 6-2 in the second leg of this doubleheader. Evan Brown is up to hit for the Midshipmen against Tyler Thompson. Brown fouls off the first pitch he sees down the left line.
Yeah, and Brown today, 3 plate appearances and 1 hit, so good job by him today.
Thompson has been pitching since the last out of the 4th inning. And his next pitch just misses the mark, so that'll be a 1-1 count. With Young digging back into this batter's box. And Thompson delivers, and it is just up the middle away from the shortstop, Tyler Young. But that'll mean 1 man on for the Midshipman in Evan Young, so another base hit for him, or Evan Brown, excuse me. And that'll bring up number 17, Victor Isquedo, for the Midshipman.
And looking at the scoreboard, very lopsided with hits here. Navy with 10, Lehigh with 2, and not a single hit since the 2nd inning. So very unfortunate for the Mountain Hawks going into this last inning.
As Thompson's first pitch gets away, and that'll be ball 1. So Navy won the first leg of this doubleheader 2-1 in 10 innings. And this one a lot less competitive as Isquedo hits one deep, going back off the wall, almost a home run, as Lehigh is able to prevent it from turning into any damage on the scoreboard. But It now brings up number 7, Taylor Bouchard for the midshipmen, and sees Isqueiro get in at second base with Evan Brown at third base. I thought that was going to be it. I thought that was going to be a homer for Navy. How about you, Evan?
Yeah, we haven't talked about the wind in a while, so now I feel obligated to talk about the wind, but I think that had something to do with the wind. The ball definitely looked like it had enough, but it just died right at the wall and hit the very, very top of the wall. Unfortunate for Izquierdo, but still, Navy's in a great position here.
Yeah, Jake Whitlinger was going back for it. I don't think he would have got there if it had indeed gotten over the wall. As Bouchard will hit one up the middle. Lehigh will try to get the runner at home, and they will do so. So now we have runners on the corner with Bouchard at first, Izquierdo at third, but Lehigh gets Evan Young, who was diving in, or excuse me, Evan Brown, who was diving in at home.
Yeah, that was a great job by Young there, the shortstop, to play a bit shallow in the infield to get that runner at home.
And those are the risks Lehigh has to take, trailing 6-2. Once again, for those who don't know, this game is only 7 innings due to the Patriot League doubleheader rules. So Thompson will deliver, the runner will go, and Bouchard, the throw is not in time and gets away from the second baseman, so Bouchard is in at second. Runner is on second and third. Thompson once again in a precarious position.
Yeah, Navy once again performing the steal at second base there with runners at first and third, and I'm kind of surprised that that they didn't decide to send the runner at third base home with that, because it ended up being an errant throw, and he definitely would have scored.
Yeah, and Navy's last run was scored just that way, so I mean, it's worth noting that of the 3 runs Navy has scored, 2 of them have been walked in, and 1 of them has been an error on the throw from the catcher to second. As that is strike number 2, and something that the midshipman bench does not like at all. So Thompson facing off against Kalela. 1-2 count, he'll deliver a swing and a miss, but it got away from the catcher, who had to pause for a moment to make sure the man on third wasn't running. But he makes the throw to first in time to Owen Wallawander. So 2 men on in second and third, and 2 outs for Tyler Thompson, hoping to close out his account today in the top of the 7th.
Now batting.
So Thompson's throw
Now batting for the midshipmen,
just
number
outside.
22 is Zane Raba.
And Zane Raba is at the bat for the midshipman.
Yeah, and Rabo, we've mentioned his speed on the base pass before, but we haven't been able to see it today. He hasn't been able to get on base. One of the few midshipmen here today without a hit, so he's looking to break that curse here, and the ball gets away from the catcher. Play at the plate.
And it's in time.
Great job, and the pitcher's fired up, and he gets a warning, I believe. There's some boos here.
Navy faithful not at all happy that that was called an out. Personally, it looked like an out to me from this vantage point. Definitely a close call. I think the ump got the right call, but the Navy bench and fan base clearly irate, as maybe that'll give Lehigh the momentum they need. Down 6-2. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 7th. And welcome back to J. David Walker Field. My name is Jackson Cramp with Evan Woodward alongside me for the Lehigh Sports Broadcasting Club's rendition of Lehigh versus Navy baseball. Second leg of this doubleheader in the bottom of the seventh, which is the final scheduled inning. Of course, last doubleheader went into extras, so we'll see if we get some more free baseball. Tristan Crawford will be pinch hitting for Lehigh, I believe, for Dom Patrizzi.
Yeah, Crawford on the season batting .308. 4 hits, 3 RBIs on the season, and looking to start a rally here for the Mountain Hawks.
And Crawford swings and misses, on Bibb's second offering. And that'll be another strike for Bibb. Bibb's next pitch is high. That'll be a ball. 2-2 count. Crawford fouls off Bibb's next offering as the clouds once again roll into here for a 2-2 count.
Yeah, and it's always tough as a pinch hitter to make an impact right away.
And Crawford fails to do so, as that'll be him struck down looking.
Yeah, and it's always tough, as I was saying, as a pinch hitter to make an impact because Bibb is still pitching here. So these hitters for Lehigh, I've seen him a couple of times now, and they've become acclimated to his pitching style. Crawford there just had one attempt, and it's very difficult to acclimate to that.
As Bibb's first offering to Cole is a ball, so that'll be 1-0. And the next one gets in there. Quite an impressive outing for the freshman Ryan Bibb, who's been pitching since the second inning.
Yeah, and Bibb, he pitches strikes. He does not pitch around hitters, and so far his pitch count is only 66, having pitched through 6 innings, so that's pretty efficient. Pretty efficient work by him.
Bibb is out of Muscatow, Illinois. Navy might have a little bit more of a recruiting pull than Lehigh, which is more of a local base. As Bibb will hit another strike on Andrew Cole to make this a full count, 3-2. Cole looking to start some kind of rally for Lehigh. And he gets a hold of that one. That's going back to the deep left field at the wall, and it is gone. Andrew Cole on the full count hits a single shot home run to deep left field. No chance for the Navy outfielder. Could that be it for Lehigh to get them back into the game? Now trailing only 6-3, courtesy of an Andrew Cole homer.
Yeah, and that's Cole's 6th home run of the season, now tied with Parrish for 2nd overall on the team. Great job by him. The wind was not going to stop that one. He got a good hold of that, and I think he felt it right out of the box. He's pretty confident that one was gone, trotting down the first base line.
Could definitely hear it off the bat that he got a good hold of it. So Bibb surrenders, I believe, his first run of the evening. And now he faces off against Sam Holtz, and that'll be a 1-1 count right now, as Holtz will swing and miss to make it a 1-2 count.
Yeah, and to note, that was Lehigh's first hit since the second inning, and they made it a big one.
So hopefully Holtz can keep the good things rolling, as Bibb will deal. And the umpire is certainly getting some hollers from the Navy bench, as he calls that one ball. Definitely on the edge of the corner, as Bibb will deliver. Holtz will ground to the third baseman, who will make the throw, and it is successful, so that'll be out number 2. And that'll bring up number 44, Owen Wallawander, the big catcher for Lehigh, the sophomore out of Chatham, New Jersey.
Yeah, and Wallawander coming up here, maybe Lehigh's last chance to spark some sort of rally, to salvage something from today, having lost the first game in heartbreaking fashion.
As Wallawander grounds to short, and that should do it, as the throw is in time. And that will do it. So their final score is 6-3. Navy defeats Lehigh at J. David Walker Field in the doubleheader. Both times they sweep the series. I'm Jackson Cramp with Evan Woodward. Thank you all for listening, and we'll